This broadcast is inappropriate for all ages right here on the House the Kamurai built. It's time for the Vlogcast. I am Kamurai. I'm here to talk about things going on in my life. We're here together today to make me do that. For the record, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm going to go into a bit more of what's going on with it now, but I'm not talking about like the past year or whatever. I'm talking about what's happening right here, right now. I live in Virginia now. I guess it's not official until I get my driver's license, maybe? I don't know. I signed a contract. I paid rent. I have a job. So lets me do that. So all in all, or long story short, however you want to phrase that for your own personal enjoyment. Come here, Rooster. Life's okay. It's stable. It could be better. I'm not saying it couldn't be. I'm not complaining that I have a job. But, like, I'm on a 2-week furlough for contractors right now, so I'm taking a vacation and a small pay cut. Or small, probably large pay cut, if we're being honest. Whether or not I want to. I'd much rather be working the holidays. Honestly, given what I've been doing too, like I honestly could have got a lot done. I could probably just do it anyways. I honestly thought about working like a whole day or something just to try to do something out. But, and then like leaving a half hour early every day for like 2 weeks or something. For 8 days, I guess. 8 days, 16 days, so about 2 weeks. 3 weeks, 3 work weeks. Oh, jeez. I'd love to do that. That would be fantastic. But I like being dedicated. I've actually found out that I've been overworking the past couple months I've been there because of expectations. But being where the company counts their lunch breaks and where I count my lunch breaks, they differ a little bit. And that's fine. I don't mind working an extra half hour. The thing that's killing me with this, and this is just part of a whole new thing, because I still don't have a car. It's still not a thing in my life, whether or not you've been following Twitter or not. I think it's a little better on the camera angle. So I technically don't need one right now. I wouldn't use it enough, even if I really wanted one. Because I really don't have that many. I don't have that many options to go see people. Because I don't have that many friends around here. And anyone that I've been on friendly terms with seems like they're really busy, or they're in situations where I don't want to go visit them, or both. So I take the metro into Washington D.C. right now to work. I hate it so much, so much. It's just an hour 20 each way, and there's one exchange, so it's not even like I got to pay attention the whole way just to make sure I get on the right exchange or whatnot that I've got to take. But so like, if I can fall asleep, great, whatever. But then that throws me off for the rest of the day. So I've been listening to podcasts in the morning, at least, and then on the train, and that helps kill some of the time. But I still feel like I'm losing it towards project work and such. And let me tell you, there's been a lot of that. The experiences I've had with the program I've been in have opened my eyes to some tools that I can use to formulate collaboration. So things like Trello, using a task board. Last time, like, I was told to use a task board, it was like sticky notes on a wall, and I think that's bullshit. It's great that you can get your hands on it and physically do it. Yeah, the whole point is that anybody can get their hands on it and mess it up or whatever. I like it being digital. I like having access reserved to it. I like giving the permissions for it. So Trello is like a cool new tool that I'm using to help manage tasks that I've got going on, and it's especially helpful for when I don't do the tasks for like consecutive days or something, and then so I can load up the task board and be like, where did I leave off? Is this helpful? Let me look. Yeah, and I've honestly, for this last little bit of stuff I'm doing, I probably should have been updating tasks, but I'm going to circle back around to that, because I want to start with programming stuff and work my way towards media stuff. So GitHub as well, which actually I am actually using for media stuff because it's a good way to have a backup. And it's actually kind of what I wanted to do with doing like my 528 studio stuff. Anyways, because my I've got a server. It's really a data server, web server. When it comes down to it, it's not a Windows server. And I like having backups of things in case something happens, so that server facilitates that as well. I've slowly been transitioning everything to GitHub, and I really think that GitHub is a better way to deal with things. You're certainly interesting, sir. I don't know why people wander into places and comment weird things. It's very interesting. Are you trying to fuck? There are no witnesses. I love it. You have your name and then an idiotic statement. It's beautiful. It really is. It's art. Congratulations. So I found GitHub, and GitHub has really been a way to keep versions of things too, because I've been doing that manually for ever and a day now. And then so not only do I have versioning and do I have a backup, but it's one that I can share not only with people, specific people to do collaborations, but I can leave it out there for people, or I can pay to privatize it, which at this point in time I've not seen the need to. There are a couple things maybe I should, if you will, and I'm working on that. We discovered Draw.io, which is a way to do UML like through a web browser. It's a decent way to do free UML stuff. I'm a big fan of Visio, but it requires a Microsoft license. And then I found Topcase back in the day, and Topcase was essentially a Eclipse version of UML or Visio, if you will. So, but with Draw.io out there now, like that's the way I really am going with that. And then for years, people have talked about Slack. I know Rooster Teeth uses it. The Weirdlings used to use it. I want to say Felicia Day mentioned that at one point the Geek and Sundry was using it. It's a great, cheap way to coordinate all that. And so I've got that up as well. And so there are avenues. There's an infrastructure in place. Whether or not anyone's actually collaborating with me consistently is another thing entirely. But it's there. So when I do find people, we can do it that way. Again, the biggest thing holding me back in any of my gaming projects is the art. And it's hard to get motivated and buckle down on things when I know the art's just going to spring up and fuck me on on stuff, especially dealing with subject matters in one game. But part of that too is I finally got on board with Imgur and Payspin instead of hosting it myself, which I still want to go back to hosting myself. I just want to make sure that it's nice and stable when I finally do it. Because that way I can just load things up with the same name and it's done. I don't have to like load something up. It has its new specific URL and then reconnect the thing too. I can just load it and it's done. I went and replaced a lot of the tabletop simulator stuff that I did with Imgur, or actually all of it. I think I still have save files for the old ones, so if I wanted to, I could load those up and use those, and use it as a base for the next thing. But by the time I think I'm ready to do that, Super Dungeon Explorer Forgotten Legends, or I'm sorry, not Forgotten Legends, but Legends will be out, and so I'll have plenty of new work to do, and it won't be worth it. I'll have to just kind of base it off the Imgur level stuff, which is fine. But it seems like a good tool. It seems like a good place to go. So I did figure out those things for programming and project work, and like I said, I'm using the GitHub for other things as well. There's a rule book that I couldn't fit on there because there is file size limits, especially with large things. I think the Super Dungeon Explorer TTS module is too big in its entirety to fit on there because there's different levels and things with trying to get the images smaller and whatnot. So I think if I go through that enough, I might be able to reduce it to get it on there, but when the next set comes out, I think it'll just be too big again, so it may not be worth the effort. The rulebook that I was working on for Iron Kingdoms, I would have that finished now, but I realized I did part of it wrong, and so I've got to sit down and plan out how to go back and correct it with the least amount of effort, because I've got to essentially go back and grab all the items again from all the different places they are and do from there. And I've got most of it, but you've got to do it a certain way so it's all organized, and if I don't have the time to say, hey, I'm going to take this Saturday and do it, I'm probably going to lose track of it. But it's real close, which pisses me off that I don't have it done, because that's been the goal. It's like I want to get things towards completion. I want to get things finalized. I want to get things tested. I want to get things quality checked. I want to do the reports I need to do on them to get them there, and having someone else involved not only motivates me to do what I need to get done, but it gets the parts done that I don't feel confident in doing myself, or that I know will take longer than other people done. So I just need people that are willing to jump on and be like, hey, I really want to do a thing. Let me do a thing. So it is what it is. And if I won the lotto, it's in my lotto plan. I'd probably spend probably a good week or month or whatever just looking for the right people to jump in. I'd hire at least one artist, maybe up to 5. I don't know, depends. Or even if it's a lead artist that like would talk to people on Fiverr and get things done, like an art manager even, and then like a writer. Lottery plan. Lottery plan's always fun to fantasize about. But yeah, I definitely would use it to get the company off the ground. Pay off a couple debts that are left and be done with it. People are dumb. I don't know how they find me. So lottery plan, going backwards, game stuff. So I managed to progress some of the structure of everything on how I'm doing reports. I developed my GDRs, game development reports, about 7 years ago now, and so I'm trying to reformulate that and get all the concept work in those so that other people can read it a little bit more easily. And it's definitely shaping that way. I just have to go through a couple more things. I've got to go through and redo one project because there are some possible trademark and copyright issues. And then, I mean, the trademark issues are what the concern is. The copyright wouldn't apply because we can get around that through art direction. But conceptually, got to come up with a couple things. And they've got lawyers, so not that I have anything for them to take. So there's that. So that leads GitHub. Okay, so recently, like this week, what I wanted to do with this week, especially, that's why I'm doing this now, is I managed to write out a schedule and see if I could fit in all the streaming I wanted to do for all the different channels and everything. And actually, I feel like one of them got lost in the shuffle now that I'm talking about it. No, I moved it to Friday for some reason. That's right. Because I've been talking to people, and there's people that I want to be involved, or be able to be involved with things. I moved a couple things to Friday, switched some things around, but like particularly We Are Movie Club, I came up with a couple ideas for different products, and I'm kind of testing the technicalities of streaming them and working with different things, and I've got substitution assets that I've made that by all means be replaced. Look how awful this is. I like this, but it doesn't mean it's good. Because you like something does not make it good. Like this back here, the brick wall is fine for this week, but eventually I'd like to make thematic backgrounds that maybe even flow into the overlays, and the backgrounds are going to have to change for the number of people that we have on the stream. And I found the biggest problem in scheduling all this because we've had house guests this week, and I've been hanging out with the house guests. It's good to have kids around again. I like having kids around. It's fun. They make life interesting. But they cause problems on their own. And me being able to keep to a schedule instead of doing whatever I want to do. Especially when it's things I don't have to do and it's not things I do on a regular basis, it's hard to do that. But the biggest thing I found was I was having trouble scheduling like when to watch things. And so I just I twisted some of it into watching movies with them and then coming online to talk about it. And then of course dealing with the Weirdlings. She's a newer member. She's not new per se, but compared to my old hat, Birdiesaurus, the Birdiesaurus is her handle. If you want to search her, look her up. Birdie is typically what we call her. I don't know, even know if that's her name. I don't care. It's what I've been told to call her, and that's what I call her. So I'm proud to be part of the Peoplesaurus. I think I used my free Twitch, Amazon thing to subscribe to her channel because the Weirdlings at the time were not Twitch partners because they were flouting the exclusivity clause. But they, I think, based on Mary and I both subscribing to Birdie's channel on Twitch. Is it a channel? Whatever. Mark, I don't know if he made an executive decision or just came up in a conversation, has decided to go and accept Amazon money. That's basically what it is. So they can see an influx of people subscribing because that's where a lot of people make money off of it, and that's what allows you to take bits and things and tips and donations on stream in a more efficient manner because they had been finding workarounds for all these different things for combining the chats for which I'll never do. I'll never fucking do that. Restream is as close as I'm gonna get because I don't give a shit. I really don't. I'd rather have 14 windows up and try to monitor them all. Not dealing with it. Ideally, you'd have someone else who helps monitor chat that talks to directly to the streamer like over a message. But what can you do? We're not professional here. This is semi-professional at best. On the best of days. On the worst of days, lucky fucking the shit works at all. So they're doing that, and then they were trying to like do Game Wisp and do all these things to compensate for the things that they would get as an exclusive Twitch member, and I think they got tired. Because that's how I would describe it for me if I was doing it. I'm not trying to insult them, but they were just putting in a lot of effort for very little return, I think. And in the end, they're trying to run a business. A business's goal is to make money. So there's some flag waving ahead of them with them. They want to meet certain goals on their way to that, and that's part of what they were trying to do. They were trying to outreach to the community and maintain a really wide community. And I think they've decided to shift and try to go depth and try to get a better return out of this because let's be honest, they need to. Mark's been in this too long at too little of a return for too long. And I've not been in a position to properly help in quite a bit, but he does, I don't know, really want my help. So there's that. I love brick wall soda. It's great. It's fantastic. But part of what I was getting at with talking about GitHub and our resource here and dealing with all the streaming is I've realized like how to define things. I have turned 528 studios as a concept into my network. So House of Kamurai Build is the foundation. Inside that are several things. 528 Studios is kind of the media production division, if you will, and in that are different products and channels. So looking at the 528, we break it out again. We go to, there's different channels for YouTube per se, because You Now and all the rest just kind of share, because I'm not making. Oh my god, I just got a headache thinking about that. I'm not making 4 things for each one. So it's really just my personal channel for most of these other ones is where it comes up. Everything is archived, let's call it that, on YouTube. So it's archived on the respective YouTube channels. This is HTKB. This is the Vlogcast. This is the Vlogcast being the product, HTKB being the channel. Under the YouTube umbrella of 528 Studios. And it just happens to be streamed everywhere else. That's why I have this nice little, I don't know why I did towards me, down at the bottom there, URL to go to see wherever we're doing stuff. I should probably make sure that's up to date, but another time. I had a point, I promise you. So, I've been restructuring 528 Studios on my computer. I'm not done with it yet. I really didn't realize I hadn't touched the HTKB stuff. I still got to move around some things. Like the overlay was fine, but in OBS, I definitely didn't have it linked up. I realized that I didn't like how I pieced together some of the things, and so I've got to go back. And I was doing double work too, so like all the overlay stuff that I've been doing that you've seen here versus the stuff I'd done for videos were separate. They were the same pictures, they were just being made different ways. So it's trying to consolidate that, trying to build the projects for them a little better so that the words are actually words, even if I color them a different way. Like you'll notice the Kamurai here has a darker blue on top than it does in the middle. I can't point down there. And then it also has a black outline, but that's another thing entirely. So like if I do a word that's in blue, I want a darker blue at the top because I want most of the consistent text there is dark light color. So I'm trying to get those things to be word layers where they're word layers, and then do overlays to compensate for that, like for the border. And then for the words, you can literally just dump paint in on there unless you're doing something more sophisticated, and then you can put the word down and then color on top of that, and that makes sense. So I'm doing that, but so there's a huge reorg going there. Plus I'm adding, 5 new products? I think it's 6, but it's probably only going to do. I'm probably doing 5 of them this week, just as tests, because the 6th one is what's new, or what's new. You can pronounce it as what's new, but it's what's new. It's supposed to be like, let's go to the theater and watch a new movie that's out this week. Like Star Wars Episode 8 would have been a great one. And so it's probably going to turn into like a theater goers product if I can ever get that off the ground. The logistics of getting other people involved in things like this is insane. It's not only do you happen to have to find people that want to do these type of things, like to just do video in general. You've got to find people that have the time and the inclination to do it, and not only do it, but do it with you. It's part of the problem with previous collaborations is that they didn't see it fitting into their life. Personal problems arise, which is what is happening with everyone that I'm supposed to be collaborating with. Personal life gets in the way, and I respect that. I'm not bitching about it. It's just what it is. It becomes part of my personal life, so I get to bitch about it. Now, I'm not bitching being like, oh, Kevin has a baby. Fuck Kevin and his baby. His baby's cute. And he loves his baby, and he loves his kid. And he wants to be part there for his family and everything. I want to support that because that's a good thing in general for people. I gotta stop playing with this. And for his kid, and him, and his wife. So, yeah, that's what it is. It's what it is. So what's new is one of the other ones. Of course, I want to do #WeAreMovieClub, where it's just sharing whatever movies we feel like that matter and make importance to us. Of course, Movie Service Monday leads to Weird Movie Club because it's the Weirdlings watch or whatever. Bad movie night. I do want to do this. Like, that's fucking painful, but it's fun. It's a little fun to put yourself through that, to to talk about something and watch it. And I would just someone else to do it with. I think be a little bit more bearable. I am obsessed. This is totally why I named this product this, but I am obsessed with watching a movie and breaking it down. I love looking at it line by line, scene by scene, whatever you want to call it. But Cinephiles Anonymous is going to be that one. Of course, we got the Vlogcast. We got the Watch Spot over in Jam on Toast, where that's going to be talking about TV shows. And I want to break that up. I want to break it into talking about like Marvel and talking about DC as separate pieces, because I'm pretty sure with the amount of content that comes out on the CW alone just for DC, actually, yeah, that's probably all I watch. There's cartoons and stuff too, but like not as inclined. But I could probably, given like what 4 shows: Supergirl, Arrow, The Flash, DC Legends of Tomorrow, those 4 shows right there. I don't know who has the rights to Archie. Like, I could probably get a half-hour material out of that. Sure, why not? And then Marvel, like they've got the Runaways right now. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is up. What else? Inhumans, I think, is done for this season. If it's going to keep going, I don't think it was received quite as well. Then they had Jessica Jones and the Defenders, and I don't know. I don't think I remembered Punisher getting his own series. Like, I knew he was in the second half of Daredevil, but I don't know if I remember. I really don't. But he's in that same thing. We go through like Blade. Like, we start going through the whole thing. So, like, that could be like a whole thing is just Marvel, Marvel U or MU Squad or something like that. It's a whole other product we could make, but I'm not inclined to go through, especially after going through all the trouble when we are movie club, doing that stuff right now. And that may be full-time pay type thing. That's a lot to deal with. And that's the biggest problem with doing things like that on Jam on Toast, is that it involves the most watch time on things. So I've really got to look at kind of how to manage my time a little better, and I've got to nail this down. Rabbit is the new thing. Rabbitcast, or rabb.it. I'm becoming friends, whatever you want to call it, with Birdie, and she's giving me notes and pushes here and there. But what I've got to do is I've got to schedule my movie watches like ahead of time, and commit to them and be like, this is when I'm watching this, so be it. And if I can do it right, what I'll do is I'll time it so it's the night before. The one that really fucks it up is the Weirdling Watch, Movie Source Mondays, because it's, by the time it's on here, it's 10 o'clock, so I'm really going from like 10 to midnight, and then there's no time right afterwards, because that would be the super ideal time, is to watch the movie, talk about it. And I wanted to do it on Tuesdays, but of course I want Birdie to be able to be involved, possibly, so I moved it all the way to Friday, which puts this weird delay with everything. I gotta stop messing with this. I can't, I hurt my finger somehow, and I can't stop playing with it. But, so yeah, so I just gotta do that so it's not so willy-nilly. And maybe if I can do that consistently enough, then I can get myself doing like a little half hour, or whatever on each one by myself, and then if we can extend that, to an hour with another person, or with 4 people, and we just focus and get some quality product out, that would be fantastic. That's the dream right there. We're coming up on a half hour here, so I think I'm actually going to stop. If I come back next week and talk more, great. But for those who are curious, life's okay. Life's just fine. It's not good, it's not great, it's not even really good, but it's there, it's stable, it's not bad. And it's on the upswing. We'll see how the next couple of years go. But we'll see. So until you see me next time, I am Kamurai. Have a nice day. If there's anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations and they'll take you to other channels. Thanks for watching.